Hey there folks, Chumpesque here, bringing another audio commentary, and today we have a game between Infi and I believe it's Fly. So yes, it is Fly. So actually this is going to be a bit of a rehash of 2009's WCG finals, and this is going to be on Turtle Rock. You may remember actually game 2 of those finals was on Turtle Rock and had that tremendously iconic game, probably the most remembered of that best of 3 was the sort of really nice comeback from Infi that we saw that game. Obviously it was a very nicely played game by both sides. Hopefully we'll be seeing a similar thing here. Looks like both sides are going for standard openings. Obviously Orc versus Undead, it's there's sort of a fair number of variations in strategy, but they all follow along the same lines and are very map dependent. So for example on Turtle Rock, it's quite likely we're going to be seeing Infi going for an Archmage, and then probably some sort of Sork build, maybe a Tower Rush. Obviously we're not close spawns, but certainly Tower Rushes are still very viable. Mountain King's certainly a possibility as a second hero. I think we're more likely to see Beastmaster second hero, and then as I say, some tier 2 tower push is probably the most common thing to but certainly there are a lot of permeations, and things like class expansions are pretty tricky on this map. Fly, you can see now scouting out for that close spawn position. It's not sort of 100% the best thing to always the best thing to do to scout this position, especially against human, where you figure that they're going to scout you so quickly often, and so you can sometimes just rely on the fact that you would be hoping to see their militia come into your base, and so you can actually hope to get a little bit of a jump on them, but certainly you can't do the same thing every time, otherwise you become predictable. And you know, if you're going for that Archmage, and what we'll be seeing from Fly, Farseer, very nice. Obviously Blade Master is a quite nice choice on this map, but this is one of the maps on which Farseer is actually quite viable, because it's creeping's a bit tricky on this map, where there's a lot of really easy camps which can be crept out with either a Farseer or a Blade Master pretty handily, but then there's a bit of a gap in which the Blade Master can't do too much, and so that's actually the point where this Farseer becomes quite useful. And also being a 4-player map, it's quite nice to have all those Feral Spirits to be able to do a whole bunch more scouting. There's lots of places where expansions can be hidden but can be easily taken down if they're scouted out, so having that fantastic scouting from those Feral Spirits of the entire map is really useful. You know, Archmage looks like he's picking up a Cloak of Shadows first, not too useful an item, and +3 agility for Fly. Neither player getting 2 useful items, and it looks like actually Infi was hoping to get maybe a Creepjack off here. I think he would have come in time if Fly was creeping out this camp, but as it turns out he's not. I'm not actually sure if he's even scouted out these this forest here yet, and so as a result it looks like this tower won't be up in time, unfortunately. These Spirit Wolves can do a lot of damage. Actually, it looks like he's going to try and take down the tower. Infi really needs to repair this, because if that Arcane Tower goes up, it'll completely prevent any harassing, but it looks like that tower does go down. But Infi did manage to cancel it, but that's very bad now for Infi, who has now started his tech, and I imagine Fly started his tech as well, considering that Fly only has 1 grunt out now, and yeah, his tech's quite far along, and he's putting up his actually second and third burrow simultaneously. Looks like he actually forgot a burrow there, or maybe was just willing to go a bit slower, or to build them a bit slower so he can get his tech going up a bit quicker, because his tech is ahead of Infi's, which is quite nice, because it means that tower push, or you can get a bit more up before that tower push hits you. And it looks like Fly is continuing to do a lot of nice harassment. Infi is back, but he has now hit level 2, so he does have that all-important aura, and he also has +3 strength, which is pretty nice, because it's quite easy to just right-click some Spirit Wolves onto your Archmage, and then you're really in a bit of trouble, because you just have to keep on running. I mean, this low footman at 29 hit points, not going to get away from that Farseer, who looks like he's trying to take a shortcut now, will get in and get that kill, but after having wasted a lot of time, that's really nice to play the right Infi, because he's got his Archmage all the way over here now. He's going to be able to do some shopping, probably going to buy a boot, and then actually staff teleportation as well, and actually power building this lumber mill. So maybe actually Infi not rebuilding this tower, that could be a mistake, and it's always nice to have that tower, even though sort of Fly was rebuffed a bit. There's no reason he can't come right back into the base now, and I think that tower does need to go back up, and unfortunately Infi not building it, instead choosing to spend or to save his money rather for when he hits tier 2, because there's so many things a human can do right as you hit tier 2, and then when you take into account the costs of things like power building, it's so easy to spend your money as soon as you get there. So having a lot is useful. And very nice use of Cloak of Shadows there, hiding that Archmage so he doesn't take too much damage, and actually a nice Archmage comes out of hiding to get that last hit off on that Spirit Wolf, and looks like this other Spirit Wolf is going to go down, and actually no, denied there by Fly. Very nice by summoning out those new Spirit Wolves. excuse me, and it looks like this Farce here taking a lot of damage will be need to get out of here. He did put up that Voodoo Lounge earlier we saw, so he will be able to go back and heal. And meanwhile, it looks like this Archmage actually might just try and run straight to Fly's base. That'd be quite nice to try and cancel any tier 2 buildings which would be going up, although I think he'd probably be a bit too late. Tauren Chieftain obviously second for Fly, really strong against that caster build, and actually these wolves being sent into Infi's base, very nice there. And actually it looks like Infi losing one water elemental. Ooh, wow, really risky play here by Fly. Going to be doing a whole lot of damage to Infi's base, but he just has such a low farce here now. He might be put into a lot of trouble. Meanwhile, very nice play here by Infi, counter-attacking, and I think he won't be able to take down either of these tier 2 buildings, which would obviously be nice. And so instead he is just going to have to do be happy with doing a bit of harassment to the peon line, and it looks like that's exactly what Fly's doing as well here. And Infi ooh, wow, getting a surround there off on that Tauren Chieftain. Very stylish play there by Infi. He's just going to be able to take this down, although he will need to be careful. His Beastmaster might go down. Was past the Cloak of Shadows, so can use hide when it comes down to it. Ooh, no, but very nice shockwave, killing that Beastmaster. So both the second heroes do go down, and it looks like Fly in a bit of trouble himself. Does have that Cloak of Shadows, so he will be able to hide. He does have level 2 actually, so he could get a very nice Chain Lightning off here and kills a lot of footmen and then TP out. That might be the best thing for him to do. Meanwhile, the Staff of Teleportation being used by the Archmage. Still no dust though for Infi, so this Farseer will have to TP out any second now, down to 59 hit points, and just so many low footmen here for Infi. It's so tempting for Fly to stay, but Infi just really needs to be careful to put these low footmen near the back, and just keep on bringing out new militia and everything, and even lots of low grunts here as well. Really so many low units for both sides here. Infi losing a couple footmen, that's not too important, but he does have his one Sanctum up, although he's not building any Sorks yet. He really could do with getting one out to spend against all these grunts, and this Beastmaster is back, bring out another Cold Beast immediately, and Infi continuing to lose units, but he does have this Farseer a bit trapped. It looks like the Farseer is trying to hit level 3, because if he can do that he can probably just be able to run away, or at least get a fair distance away. But daytime is about to break now, and this could be bad for Fly. He does need to TP away. I think he just has to resign himself to the fact that he's not going to get level 3. Yep, there he goes, TPing away, but he's wasted a whole lot of Infi's time in the process, and it's allowed his Tauren Chieftain to presumably get back. Yep, there's a Tauren Chieftain there, who did obviously go for that shockwave first, so he can make very nice use of shockwaving that hidden Beastmaster and getting that kill. And it looks like Infi will just be creeping out this camp, going to try and get level 3 on his Archmage, because that level 3 is so critical. And meanwhile that's actually only one Arcane Sanctum up in the base now for Infi. I guess he's just been so pressed for his economy in terms of other things, he just hasn't been able to afford that second one, and he's only now putting up an Arcane Vault. He'll definitely want to do some healing up. I don't think he really has enough to buy some Ivory Towers now. He'll instead need to be trying to play a longer game. Very nicely played there by Infi or by Fly to force that, and this Farseer running in now with the rest of the army, but still only level 2, would very much like to get that level 3. I think a little bit of creeping could go a long way here, because that extra increase on the wolves level is just so nice. It looks like actually Fly going to get this Quill Beast kill here and get that level 3, and so he could actually move back in, but actually now he's deciding not to move in. Really interesting choice. Maybe he's going to creep this camp out first. This certainly is an absolutely critical camp to creep out, because you would get because you get that watch reward, and it's the camp between the two bases. You can see this is basically the most important the situation in which getting that watch reward is most important, and that watch reward is usually quite important, but in this situation just so nice. And it looks like he has picked up that and a ring of regeneration, but it looks like no TP here. When this creep jack comes in, Infi gonna get at least one grunt kill here. He has slow on another grunt, but he can't really pursue it. Instead he's just gonna need to turn back and try and get off the creep kill here. Unfortunately it's not the one with the tome, so there's only so much that Infi can actually get from that camp now, and it looks like Fly's gonna have to do some slightly smaller creeping here. Gonna really want that Tauren Chieftain level 3 now. That's sort of the next big priority, and you can see actually Fly only now getting the Berserker upgrade because he was so pressed for his economy earlier, and actually you can see all of Fly's buildings are actually slightly injured from the harassment. Unfortunately Infi didn't actually manage to take down any individual building, and we might be seeing some ensnare creeping here now from Fly. That'd be very nice. Just ensnare one of the units, and then sort of many fewer units will actually run out, then you can just ensnare the Magi, surround it, and then get a kill very easily without taking too much damage. And meanwhile Infi's doing some nice creeping, obviously getting that bear as a second creep, or as a second skill for the Beastmaster, because the Owl Scout is only tremendously useful against the Blade Master, and that bear is so nice against raiders. And looks like we are going to be seeing level 3 now already on that Torrent Chieftain. And what was the item actually? Infi might have, or Fly might have already sold it. Yeah, Fly's already sold it, so must have been a bad item. That's a bit of a shame, because you can get some tremendous items from this camp. And you know, now that both heroes are level 3, Fly basically wants to creep them up simultaneously, because level 4 is about as important on both heroes, and level 5 is about as important on both heroes now. Actually, level 5 is probably more important than the Torrent Chieftain, but it's a bit of a pipe dream to get that just from creeping. And it looks like Infi getting very close to level 3 now on his Blade Master as well. Gonna be probably getting that Quill Beast level 2 second, or for his third skill. It's a bit better generally, because you can get so many of them out, and it's not only is it nice against the Raiders, it's nice against all of the units basically, and actually is some interesting tower placement here by Infi, putting these here, which is quite nice, but at the same time one arcane tower would go a very long way, and looks like a lot of harassment is going to go down now for Fly. I'm not sure whether or not he actually has pillage research